The year was 2001. I had just started dating a guy named Todd. I think we'd been dating for about a month, and I decided I wanted him to meet some of my friends. So I organized a little happy hour, and one of my really good friends at the time, her husband was super protective and always wanted to interview people that I dated and wanted to sniff them out. And we all went out. We had this great time. Now, I'm sitting right next to Todd, by the way. I'll never forget. He was sitting on this side of me. And my friend's husband was sitting right across from him. My friend was sitting across from me. And we're engaged in our own conversation. The guys are talking. And I can kind of hear what they're talking about, but not really. And one thing I heard was, oh my gosh, how did it go? Something along the lines of, well, we're going to go out next week when she gets her bandages off. This is what I heard. And I looked over and I said, oh, what are you guys talking about? And his face just, Todd's face just, looked panicked. And my friend's husband kind of gave me a look like, And so I got the full scoop. And I got it on the way home, and then I got it from my friend's husband. So basically, Todd told this guy that even though he's on a date with me, he had met a girl in a strip club, and they were going on a date as soon as she got her bandages off because she got a boob job. Okay? Now, I really was so surprised, and I was hurt. I liked this guy. And you know what? I was so thankful I wasn't intimate with him because I really take my time with that kind of thing typically. And back then, again, this is over 20 years ago, I really did try to take my time before I would take it to the next level. And, we had gone on maybe 5 or 6 dates, but I liked this guy. He was nice. He was personable. And one thing that stands out to me that he did is one time he came over to my house to pick me up for a date. And I had my to-do list on my kitchen island. And he was looking through my to-do list and he was checking things off. Well, I can help you with this. Well, I can help you with this. Oh, I can help you with this. And I thought to myself, what a nice guy. Here he is coming over, taking me on a date, and is going to help me with my to-do list. I can't tell you what was on there. I'm sure it was stuff to do around the house. But he was trying to be helpful, right? I can't even believe it. Yeah. So he's driving me home and it's really quiet. And he's like, hey, can we work this out? And I was like, no, of course we can't. And I got out and of course I slammed the car door. Never spoke to him again. This was way before, I think maybe cell phones were a bit of a thing, but nobody was really texting and, any of that stuff. So I never talked to him again, but I never forgot him. And I never forgot the hubris he had of telling my friend's husband all about his upcoming date with a stripper. Okay. And by the way, Todd was not a overt narcissist. He dressed very plain. This was in Colorado. He kind of dressed very Colorado, maybe in some flannel and jeans. He had short hair, plain. He was an okay looking guy, but he wasn't this ostentatious narcissist. He was more of a covert narcissist. And that's the deal. By the way, my name is Sparrow Spalding. I am a trauma recovery specialist. I talk on this channel a lot about narcissistic abuse and narcissistic abuse recovery. So if you're new here, welcome. But yeah, so the topic today is how narcissists hide their selfishness. And, the overt narcissists, I think a lot of times, they make the grand gestures. They buy the gifts, they take you to the expensive meals, they do the expensive weekends away. They find this, beautiful sweater, at a ski shop in Aspen that would just look so great on you, that kind of stuff. And the more covert narcissists, number one, because they don't have the financial resources to be that ostentatious, right? So I think a lot of times what they do is they do these really thoughtful things to suck you in, right? Like, oh, I can help you with your to-do list. And I came across, in talking with my clients, my friends, and thinking back on my own life, a lot of behaviors that covert narcissists will do in the beginning to kind of not really wow you, but to endear you, okay? To endear you to them. So they'll be thoughtful. They might bring you a little herb plant for your kitchen so that you can cook with fresh herbs. They might help you come clean out your garage. They might fix your sink. They might write you a poem or a song if they're a musician. They might pick you flowers out of their garden. I did have that happen to me one time too. This guy, so nice, decided he wanted to pick me flowers out of his own backyard. And it wasn't long after that I found out he was also a bit of a covert narcissist. He was not willing to invest, but he was willing to do all the sweet things up front to kind of reel me in, right? So they might bake you things. They might clean your gutters. If it's a woman, she might do a lot of homey things for you, like bring you pies or, wash your sheets, that kind of stuff. So you really want to be careful because that's how we can get sucked in because, normal, nice people do thoughtful things too, right? So how do you discern? The deal is you just gotta wait it out for the most part. You've got to wait it out and see, is this person consistent? Are they authentic? And here's a question to ask yourself. Do they do nice things for other people or is it just you? Because if it's just you, and you can kind of find out by, getting to know them, their lifestyle, asking how they spend their time, who they hang out with. If it's just you, that's a bit of a red flag. If they're not out volunteering, and I don't mean volunteering for everything because, then you can be a bit of a communal narcissist if you're doing that. But, do they have a local church that they volunteer for or the local homeless shelter or just something that they're passionate about? Do they help other people? Do they volunteer at their kids' school if they have kids? Just paying attention to that kind of thing. Because if it seems like they're only doing nice things for you, that is a red flag. That's a red flag. Here's another red flag to be aware of. Do they have a vice? Now, a lot of times people who are coming across as so nice and so helpful will have a vice. Do they smoke cigarettes? Do they drink too much? Do they gamble? Are they kind of a slob, right? Is their apartment really messy? Is their car really messy and stinky and gross? These are little red flags to pay attention to. And again, it doesn't mean that if your date has a messy car that they're a narcissist. Doesn't mean that, but you're looking for clues. And the reason I want you to look for clues, number one, because if you've already been in a relationship with a narcissist, you're going to be prone to finding another one. Just sadly, I think that's the case. I think that's the truth. So we want to make sure we don't find another one. And, we want to make sure that you are investing wisely, right? Your time is a commodity. Your heart is a commodity. We don't want to just give our hearts away. We don't want to just give our time away because we think somebody's thoughtful in the beginning, right? We really want to pay attention to these things. So making sure you're paying attention to the red flags. And if it kind of feels too good to be true, if you find yourself telling your friends like, he did this, or she did this and this and this and this, and it just sounds so good, chances are, or there's a distinct possibility at least, that this person is full of crap and they're just trying to win you over. They're trying to scheme and plot to get you, right? This is not necessarily the real them. So when I have friends tell me in the beginning, he's so great, he did this and he does this and da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, yeah, and you're telling me this in the beginning, you don't know this person very well yet. Let's not come to the conclusion already that he's great because he could potentially not be great. And you're glazing over some other things because of, oh my goodness, he wrote you a poem and grew you some basil. Yeah, let's be careful of that. So guys, let me know, drop a line in the comments and let me know what you think, what your experience has been, and as to when a narcissist, covert or overt, how and when they hide their selfishness, because it's really key that they do this in the beginning. Otherwise, you're going to see through them and you're going to say goodbye, right? So this is how they suck you in. If this was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. As always, Hug yourself from me, and we'll see you next time.